Hi there, Sandra here from createinspain and Siser, Juliet, Beginners to Pro. Today I wanted to make a little video about how I've actually designed something in SCAL6. Now I've got version 6 and I have the Pro version. So what I want to do is to show you how I actually designed a card that I made very recently. So the card that I want to do is going to have a window cut out the front of it. And obviously I want that window to be centered. So I'm going to show you a nice, easy way of doing that. So I'm going up to my library, and in this particular case I want basic shapes. Now this is an A6 rectangle. It is in the library. It is just a standard European size card, and I'm going to take the colour out of this because I don't want it in there. I'm going to be using another rectangle. I don't need it that big, but I can, for demonstration purposes, just use the same one. And let's make it, yeah, about that big will do. Round corners. When you get the rounded corners, you get different options. You get beveled, rounded, and you get rounded inset. And this is the one that I want because this gives you a really good effect. I've got the auto preview checked, and if I just click on here, we can see that I can get a really nice frame shape here. So I'm just going to click on OK. Take this one and have an effect. I want a shadow layer on it, and I want a bigger shadow than 0.2 centimeters. You can choose whatever size you like. I'm going to go for 0.6 centimeters or 6 millimeters. I only want the outline. I don't want an infill or anything like that. So if I move this out of the way, we can see that I've now got an offset on here and go to OK. So I want this to be a frame, but I also want to do different things with these pieces. So all I'm going to do is right click, copy, paste it, and just move a copy out of the way. Let's go to path and exclude. Now what this will do is that it gives me an actual frame. What I want to do is to check the size, which I'm happy with. I think in proportion, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So the other thing that I want to do is to make the hole in here. So this is the outside frame, and this is the hole that I need to cut out to make sure that it matches up, because that's going to go in there. So if I put this in here and I center it up using the position and size, this says to page at the moment, so I want to put this to selection, and then this one, this one. This of course is not actually a complete card, so I'm going to move this over here to make this line here a separate line by using the knife tool. I'm going to put it from inside through the corner, do the same on that bottom corner there. Go to select, click on this, and then break it apart, and this line here is now completely separate. So because I use a scoring tool in my machine to do scoring, I'm going to come over to my wrench here, and instead of a cut line, I'm going to set that to score. And then I'm going to go to object and I'm going to log. So now if I try and pick that up, I can't. This one, however, I can do whatever I want to do with. So right click, copy, right click again, paste in place. And then over in the position, I'm going to flip it. Now I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move it in this direction here. But I want to check, so I'm going to use the zoom and check again. Take that. Have I gone too far or not far enough? That looks like it is it. I'm going to select this line. Actually, you can't because at the moment I've locked it. So I'm going to go to Object, Unlock All. I'm going to select this line here. I'm going to change the colour of it. So I'm going to change it to a green line. Because this reminds me, this is a visual reminder that it's going to be a score line. And if we go to the wrench here, you can see that it was set to score. And you can see, if I go here, we've got the cut lines and we've got the score line in green. So I'm done. So I'm just going to remove the color from that by clicking on none. Group that, and then when I send it to the cutter, It will, because I'm going to use your Cut cut settings. It will have a different pressure on here to do my score line, and then the rest of it will cut out. So that's basically how you do it to set it up. I'm just going to go to fit to window so we can get back to our other screen. And I have this piece here, which is the outer part of the frame. Now this, what I would do is I will put a color on here, and I would make that semi-transparent to remind me that this is actually going to be cut from acetate, because this is my window. If I want to make it into a shaker, which I did in this particular case, I will do another one of those, and I will be doing another one of these frames, but I haven't finished with the frame just yet. Now, as it happens, I wanted to do a design which was from a picture that I found in Pixabay, free to download, and I've got it on my laptop, so I want to do a trace of this particular image. So go to trace, choose an image, and I want desktop. Here we go, and here's my image. So I'm going to open that up. Now I've selected use alpha channel because the alpha channel will outline everything that hasn't got a pixel on it. So that's a really nice, easy one to do. Now at the moment I've got a shadow on here, and I actually don't want to put a shadow on it, so I'll put none. I do want to add an image layer, and I don't want it to do a blackout because of this little piece here. I want that to cut out. So this is exactly what I want to get, but I'll update the preview because I've removed the offset. Now I will be adding an offset to it, but I prefer to do that when I've resized the image. So I'm just going to click on OK. I'm going to come up to my position and size, and I'm just going to make this, I don't know, about 8 centimeters, just to resize it to something a little better. I'm going to have to resize that a lot more, obviously, but I can do a drag with that. So I can just do it like that quite easily. So I can put it here. Yeah, I think that would probably be around the right size. So now if I look at the layers panel, I'm grouping this at the moment. I've got a picture there and I've got cut lines. So you can see I've got the cut and I've got the print. If I switch the print off, you can see that I've got just the cut lines. And I want to go to effects and I want a shadow layer. And I probably want about 2 millimeters, which is what I've got it set up to anyway. I'm going to do the outline only, and I'm going to click on OK. So now I've got an extra outline. I can actually take this inner one and remove it. And you can see that my other outline is there, and I've got this little hole here inside there. Now, assuming that I'm happy with that, I can then show my design here. Now it's still attached to this one here because I didn't ungroup it. So if I ungroup that and drag the picture out of it, I can center that up manually. Had I ungrouped it to start with, then I would have not had to do that. So what I will do is position it so that the cut line is over the edge of the frame, like that. Now I can resize both of these if I want to. So I could make it a bit smaller if I felt like it. There we go. And if I'm happy with that, what I can do is select that print and switch it off, and then take that and go to path and go to union, and I've now got my shape. I'm going to take the colour out of this because it's going to irritate me. Go back to my layers and switch my print back on, and here I've got a print and cut for a front panel which is going to go over here. What you have to be careful of is that if you have a line which is set to print and cut, all it will do is cut, and that's fine. That's generally what you want when you're doing a print and cut. If you don't want a line to print and you've got it on a printable page, then make sure your line is set to print and cut. If it is set to just cut and you have a line on there that is visible, it will print it still. And what else might we want to do? Well, we've got this for the front of the card, but if you want to make the inside of the card really neat, then a good idea is to copy it, paste it, and then come over to your position and size and do a flip, because that will allow you to put exactly the same design in a frame on the inside of the card. So you'll have your acetate in between it, with or without a shaker element, that's entirely up to you. But the outside of the card will look like that, and the inside of the card will look like that, because they are flipped. They are back and front images. So if you cut two of these, you can put one on the front of the card, followed by a frame, and then on the inside, you put another one of those, followed by the frame. So there we go, that's how it was designed, and then you just send it to the cutter and it does all the work for you. Easy peasy when you know how. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.